how you guys doing today? Today we're doing a little bit of a different video. I'm gonna give you guys some info onto why I got into guns and how I got started into guns, why I want to make this channel, and just a little bit more info about me and that. So I hope you guys enjoy this, a talking head video. So if you guys want a little bit more action or whatever, you can go ahead, just skip this and go to my other videos. But yeah, just so people understand why I got into guns, for people that may not be into guns or maybe on the fence of anti, and trying to understand why, just so you guys can see at least why I got into guns, what this channel is all about, and why I created this channel, and what I hope to accomplish with this channel. So yeah, I know, a bunch of boring stuff, but hopefully if you got free time, you just have this running in the background, kick off your socks, get some coffee, some whatever you drink, who gives a shit, get some Rice Krispie Treats or whatever, and yeah, we'll just relax a little bit and talk. Also, side note, I kind of been having an idea about making either a second channel or maybe a series on this channel. I'm just basically sitting back and talking about stuff, just because I want to keep my channel separate from politics and stuff like that, and just have information and stuff there, and then maybe do a side bit where I'm talking just about different things going on, the hard-hitting shit like politics or religion or whatever, just stuff to express my thoughts and my opinions, and just also see what everyone else's is, not to bash anything or say pick one side over the other, but just to talk and get conversations out there, and to have people hear other people's perspectives and kind of get engaged with it in the comments and everything else, and just open people's minds on stuff. So that's something I've been thinking about. If you would maybe like to see that in the future, let me know. I don't know if I will do it on this channel or if I might make another channel which might end up having gaming and other stuff down the line. I don't know, I've been thinking about it, but there's so many people like doing gaming and stuff, it's like kind of why bother. But yeah, anyway, my name, I will start with big reveal. My name is Ryan. That's all the information I will give you, but yeah. So my name is Ryan. I am 28 years old as of today, which should be October 6th, and who knows how long it'll take to edit this video. But yeah, so I started getting into guns, or at least gaining an interest for them, way when I was young. Me and my family, especially me and my big brother, we would always play video games, like ever since we were little, playing it on computer, PC back in the day, Windows 98, and yeah, I think Windows ME even. Yeah, so we were playing computer games way back in the day, of course. Tomb Raider and stuff like that. Tomb Raider was one of the first video games, honestly. It's so weird saying like, but it's a true thing. The video games get a lot of people into guns or liking guns just because how cool they look and everything. Like I remember playing Tomb Raider. Yeah, I was playing Tomb Raider on PC, and just Lara Croft with the dual. If you go back, I think they're like HK USPs or something. Or I don't know if it was determined later, but just the dual pistols, and they were two-tone, like the silver with the black at the front. Like I just thought that was the sickest thing. All the action games, I always liked the guns in video games. I always liked like the armor suits and stuff and different things, like Halo, for example, and even there was a couple games before then. I mean, just stuff like that always interests me. And Metal Gear Solid.
Is this the first time you ever pointed a gun at a person? Your hands are shaking. Can you shoot me, rookie?
Careful, I'm no rookie.
Liar. That nervous glance, that scared look in your eyes. They're rookie's eyes if I ever saw them.
Ooh!
You've never shot a person, am I right?
You talk too much.
You haven't even taken the safety off, rookie.
Was one of the first video game series, besides Tomb Raider, that I really got into heavily. Me and my brother used to play that from Metal Gear Solid 1 on PlayStation all the way to the last Metal Gear Solid 5 and everything pretty much in between we've been playing and die-hard fans of. And that Metal Gear Solid 1 got me into a lot of guns, like the FAMAS, the HK USP, the SOCOM edition, like that handgun, and then like stuff like that. Just seeing it in game was just, because I'm a kid, I have no concept of what weapons and everything are. Like when you're young, you think all the action stuff is cool, especially being boys. So seeing all the action stuff in movies and then video games, it just looked cool. And then especially to me, just I really stuck to, or like the design of the weapons and how they're built, like in Metal Gear Solid with the suppressor and then the weird box thing underneath it, the light module and thing. For some reason, it looks so futuristic but realistic to me. I just always kind of drew to that. And even like the FAMAS, like weird, funky video game gun designs that were real guns, but just the funky designs that they had. For some reason, I was attracted to those designs. And then even like mech suits and like robot stuff. I used to play games like Ace Combat with the flying jet simulators, even jets I started getting into and liking a little bit. Not as much when I got older, but that's basically where everything stemmed from, is video games and stuff. And I was into a lot of espionage or whatever video games, like Metal Gear Solid, where you have to go around stealthily, Siphon Filter, Splinter Cell, stuff like that. And then, wait, coffee break, hold on. Oh, is that good for the
Bruh.
Is that good for the ASMR listener? Yeah. Right, but anyway, yeah, I had an uncle who's a veteran from Desert Storm, and he was in security and all types of stuff afterwards. And he was always that kind of kooky uncle that would always take every second he could to teach you about tactics and what you want to do in a fight, and get a little bit crazy. But it was my uncle, and I always looked up to him, and he showed me a bunch of stuff. He showed me like Desert Storm and like Army Milsim games way early on, like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 days. And there's even a game called Desert Storm 2 or Desert Storm Forces or something like that. Hopefully I can get a picture of it right here. But yeah, we played that game a lot of times, and there was like some Go Army, like official USA Army games and stuff like that we used to play when I was younger too. And that and his stories and his always like fight tactics. So it kind of grew up around, going in that direction anyway, just because all the stuff that was around me, and because I took an interest in it, just because I like the designs, I like the function, the concept of like tactics and everything like that. Like for some reason, I just started leaning towards that direction. But yeah, skipping ahead from that, later on down in life, I always wanted to be kind of an engineer. I always had an affinity for like trying to build things, figuring out how things were made, taking them apart. I was going to school with a focus trying to go towards like graphic design and like filming and stuff like that, but I also wanted to do engineering. I even tried to go to ITT Tech. I was looking around taking tours on campus, but at the time that I was looking to go to ITT Tech, a bunch of stuff was happening with basically people graduates not going there weren't getting admitted to any places, and that their degrees were counted as basically nothing, and a bunch of stuff. And who knows if it was true. Honestly, I kind of wish I still went, just so I could have got the knowledge anyway and could have done something on my own afterwards, regardless of whatever happened. But it is what it is. But yeah, so I always had a desire to kind of learn how things were made. I remember taking classes in school about building remote controlled RC cars from scratch and making a box frame around it, and stuff like that was always really neat to me. So there was the same principle with guns and armor and body armor and stuff like that, or sci-fi mech suits and stuff. I always tried to imagine or figure out how they worked, or see, what made them tick. How come something can shoot out of this and the whole gun not blow up, but if you do something wrong, sometimes it would blow up? Just basic engineer, like nerd questions. I was really interested in figuring out how it was made, what makes it tick, how it's put together, and how to take it apart and everything, and ways to make things better. And it was more like a side thing. I never pursued it, but always used to doodle like high-tech body armor, like some Master Chief Halo type stuff, and I would always doodle it and be like, okay, well, if I were to make this in real life, what would I make it out of? How would I put it together? How would things overlap and stuff like that? So just from an engineering standpoint, that side of me started growing more and more as the years went by, and I always wanted to figure out how to do things, how to make things my own, how things worked and everything like that, like I said before. So I think that's the history with gamings and veteran family members and stuff. And then also a big thing too, besides that, well, that being my main, or that's the main thing that basically kind of brought me into the gun world, or leaned me more towards that direction, the gun, tactical, whatever you want to call it, world. That basically was the main thing that guided me in that direction. And then also the more realistic and practical stuff that kind of drove me into that direction. Wait, coffee time. Some people are really disgusted by this right now, and I can't blame them. but I gotta stop myself before I go off on tangents. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, but anyway, back to it. So, fuck, what was I talking about? Searching. Oh yeah. So yeah, besides all the engineering and like mechanical trying to problem solve side, I am a minority. If you didn't know, I'm Black, Mexican, Puerto Rican, and I was raised in a lower middle class family. So we didn't always have access to the best stuff or the best places to live. So of course I lived in communities where it wasn't too bad, but there was usually a lot of stuff going on all the time. And then some of the places we were always renting houses. So every couple of years we were moving in a whole nother part of the city. And there was a couple places we lived that was really bad with crime going on. There was one place that I lived where there was literally a drive-by shooting in front of my house, like literally directly in front of my house. It was late at night. I woke up at like 2 a.m. I was probably like, I think 15 or 16. I think 15 years old when this happened. I just woke up at 2 a.m. randomly. There was a group of kids or people walking on the street, just talking hecka loudly. Somebody was driving by. They said something out loud to each other, but I think maybe the people in the car thought they were talking to them and talking mess. So the car double backed, came around, and just all of a sudden, just see flash going off and people. I didn't look out the window. My mom actually woke up like 10 minutes before that happened. So it was really strange. But yeah, she saw everything that happened. I just seen the flash of lights and heard the gun go off, which it was fully automatic, by the way, in California, which is illegal, but somehow criminals still managed to get fully auto weapons. So yeah, okay. Besides the point. But yeah, so that happened. I mean, that happened literally in front of my house. There's other stuff that's happened. I've got approached by people trying to rob me and stuff like that before. So, I mean, there was always a need for the defensive part, for the defensive side. There was always a need in my whole family. Like, yeah, we should have guns, and we need guns to protect ourselves because the areas that we are in aren't that great. And they have guns, so the only way we can defend ourselves against them is to have a gun. So that was that side. And that was another, like, basically the final draw, especially as I started getting older, kind of just running into trouble a little bit more and more, and then seeing how often and how much other, like, people were carrying guns, how, like, the criminals, the bad side, were going around with guns or knives or doing stuff, how widespread it was as I was older and more understanding of what's going on. Then I just started to realize, like, well, I'm not gonna be a dummy. I need to protect myself. And especially once I moved up here, a different city, because I was living in Sacramento, California. That's where I'm born and raised in. Shout out Sacramento, 916. Yeah, and I was born 916. So hello, it's me. But yeah, I moved up north 3 years ago. I'm not too sure, but yeah. So I moved up here, but it was my first time moving somewhere completely new by myself. I mean, I'm moving with my wife, but it was the first time, like, our own place together and away from my family and anyone that I knew. So that was definitely the marking point where I was like, okay, if I'm ever gonna get a gun, this is the time to get it, just because I need to be able to defend us and this house, and I don't know the layout here. That's what prompted me getting directly into guns and buying a gun. And as I started getting into the gun world and learning more information and informing myself about what things are, what to do, what not to do, the safety rules, everything like that, how to handle certain types of firearms, whether it be center fire, rim fire, hammer fired, all the stuff like that. I was watching videos on stuff like that before, like FPS Russia, Demolition Ranch, big shout outs to them, Iraq Veteran 8888, TFB TV, Military Arms Channel. A big shout out to all of them, even though they don't care who I am. But that's where I got a lot of my information and knowledge from, and how I prepared myself to be an owner of firearms beforehand. So that way I can, know what's right, what's wrong, what to look for, what not to look for, what to do, what not to do, what does what, and stuff like that. So that way I could prepare myself. And then, but upon that research, trying to find certain information that wasn't, broadcasted on those bigger channels, trying to find certain information about things, I noticed the videos and stuff were kind of scattered all over the place. The information and the quality on those videos was poor, or they'd only talk about something, or people were just ranting and being angry at stuff and talking trash and not really knowing what to call the parts of the gun that they were even talking about. There was a lot of misinformation and miscommunication on that end. And then people that I knew personally that were trying to get into guns have like no clue about guns or what they should do or what to look for. And then, I would direct them to some sources, but it was hard for them to gain knowledge too. Wait. Oh, yeah. Upon seeing that people were kind of struggling to get the right information about certain things, and that even I myself, there were certain questions that I had that I couldn't find the answers to in a professional way, or couldn't find the answers to, period, online. And just also, I noticed that from some of the people that were more against guns or not, two-way or anti-gun or whatever, there was a certain stigma or stereotype type of thing to where it's like, oh, if you're a member of the two-way community, or if you're pro-gun, or if you agree with guns and you want to defend gun laws and stuff, then you're either a hillbilly redneck, or you're racist, or you're a drug dealer, criminal, or something. And those are the only types of people that care about guns, or that want guns and everything. Because if you are a regular citizen, you don't want guns around because gun violence and all this stuff and everything like that. And it was just, the more information I learned and that I saw from watching these other videos and learning and informing myself about the gun world and about the two-way world, the more I seen that wasn't true. I realized also that people that thought that way weren't going to take the time to actually get into the information and look up real facts about it. They just, had their own stereotypes and prejudices about what you must be if you like this and everything like that, to where they're not going to get involved. And some of the stereotypes, or preconceived notions or whatever, there's some of them were a little bit true. There's some stuff that, where it's like, it definitely seems like these type of people are the main ones that do this, and they all kind of think one type of way or whatever. But I wanted to prove okay, well, if you do like it's just an inanimate object, first off. And two, if you like something, it doesn't matter what type of person you are, or if you like it, you don't have to be this type of person just to like it. And that type of ignorant way of thinking, just even beyond guns itself and everything, just period. You can't typecast or stereotype or group people into one certain category just because they like or do one thing, or they agree with some things and disagree with others. And there's just a big, broader problem in general in this country about grouping people together based on similar thoughts or similar ideals, even though you may disagree with some other parts from other, I don't know how to explain it, but basically it's just lumping people together. And if you support this, then you're against this, or if you're against that, then you support that, which is complete bullshit. But either way, getting off on a tangent, I just noticed that, and I wanted to make this channel because, one, I wanted to inform everyone about guns and about safety and about everything that I was learning, so that as I'm learning and growing and gaining my knowledge in this gun world and about guns and safety and different types of firearms and what to do, that other people can too and can learn through me. So hopefully I can shed a bit brighter light where they might have had difficulty finding that information elsewhere before. Two, I wanted to break the stereotype of, you have to be only this type of people like guns or like this type of thing, or if you like guns then you're this type of person and have this way of thinking and this. So I just wanted to break the mold, just because I'm a minority, I come from a different background, but at the end we're all the same, and it doesn't matter what I think or what anyone else thinks, if we should all be able to defend ourselves. And just because I think that doesn't mean I'm a redneck, or I think about this, or if I'm Republican or Democrat or anything like that. None of that has to matter, and none of that means shit in the end. It's just simple thing like, if my wife is getting robbed or beaten by a bunch of people, or if someone's trying to kidnap them or my son or whatever, I need to be able to defend them. Because if I just live and like, oh, that happens, and I'm just standing there like, oh, I wish I could have done something, good luck living the rest of your life. So that's why I believe we should all defend ourselves, and that's why I want to make this channel, break those barriers. Three, I just wanted to make entertainment just beyond the science and engineering side of things, just seeing how they work, how they performed and stuff, and just because it's fun. It's something that I find fun in, and learning about different projectiles and what they can do and different types of guns and how they work different from other things and stuff, getting that knowledge for myself and experiencing that, and just being able to go out to the range and do the stuff that was like seemingly taboo, but it's something that we're all able to do, and most of us should be able to do it. So just the fun behind that, and building stuff from scratch, putting guns together, different things. It's a fun experience. And especially, I know there's a lot of people that may not ever want a gun, or that may be semi against guns or even fully against guns, but I guarantee they'll still watch movies with action stuff going on. They'll watch movies with guns like John Wick. They'll watch videos of FPS Russia blowing random stuff up with random things, just because it's entertaining and it's fun. So, I mean, kind of speaks for itself. But yeah, that's also why I wanted to do it. And just because I want to use this platform as a means to, one, kind of bridge the gap between thinking for people that are more anti-gun or more don't have any idea about guns and about the safety and about how hard it is to actually get a gun, especially here in California and all this stuff. And also people that just have preconceived notions like, oh, they're dangerous and oh, blah, blah, just to get more information towards them and get those preconceived notions down. And the people that are on the Pro 2A side, to get them less stickler about, oh, well, if you don't believe in our rights, then fuck you type, like, you know, the ones that have that type of mentality, and just calm it down and kind of bridge that gap to where I know I'm someplace in the middle where I'm like, both sides, we can just agree that these things are cool. You may not like this, but this is why this is this way and stuff like this. Just so can slowly kind of merge those two sides together, at least to get more perspectives, more minds open about what's going on and about the use cases and about if it's okay, you know. And I know currently I just got gun reviews on my channel, just a little bit of reviews, but I'm gonna try as time progresses and I get more things dialed in and situated, I'm gonna try and progress and change the type of content that I do a little bit to better bridge that gap and to better make that happen. I don't know if it'll be about maybe taking some like courses, some like rifle or handgun courses, and like showing the process procedures, maybe doing a video about, I don't know, like the paperwork, maybe interviewing people that have guns, maybe taking some of my friends that are anti-guns or are on the fence about it, taking them out shooting and showing them and getting their reactions and stuff like that. I don't know, just something to kind of get that in motion, you know what I mean? So that's my goal with this channel, and also I just like shooting guns. I just like doing stuff like that. So wait a minute. Yes. For those of you that care, this is this is a nice French roast coffee with hibiscus leaves mixed in with a little stick of cinnamon at the bottom. No cream, no sugars, just straight black coffee with a little hibiscus and a little bit of cinnamon sticks. It's really nice, really palatable, kind of flowery. For the ASMR people out there and the coffee lovers there. There you go. I don't remember the brand. Go fuck yourself. Besides the whole 2A and gun area, just in general, people need to open their perspectives more on things that they don't know about. Whether it be politics, racial issues, laws, gun things, different religions or different stuff they don't know about, even different food and different countries and stuff. Like, especially if there's something that you are a little bit more standoffish about. Like, say, even this gun world and everything like that. I didn't understand it fully. I too thought way back when, I was like, oh, the people that all love guns are like all rednecks and they're probably mostly racist and they probably have this type of way of thinking and everything. And just that's what everyone around me thought. And that's why I just kind of grew up with that thought process already. But as I started learning more and getting older and getting more mature, I started realizing, let me just look and see for myself. And thankfully, I've always had that mindset of like, whatever, regardless of whatever anyone else is saying or thinks about something, let me get information on it on myself and make my own conclusion. And I think that's something that a lot of people in this country and in the world period need to do, because you can hear a million different things from a million different people, but say you wouldn't go to a Christian person to ask about what Islam is, or you wouldn't go to a Muslim person to ask about what Christianity is, and vice versa and stuff like you wouldn't go to a Democrat and ask, oh, what's the point of being, or what is Republican, and you wouldn't go vice versa. So you know what I mean? Like, I think part of being an adult and being a grown-up and being mature and growing wiser in this life is based on informing yourself and gaining knowledge about whatever it is that's opposite of you. I mean, you don't have to freaking like throw yourself full on into the books and into the weeds and like force yourself to agree with certain things. I'm just saying that if it's something that you don't know about, or something that may make you a little bit more hesitant or standoffish because you don't know that much about it, that subject, then inform yourself. Go do your own research. Don't listen to what someone else is saying or telling you that you should think because of them, because they might have experienced something. Like, do the information or do the research and stuff on your own. Like, that's how it was with guns. I had the preconceived notions, but it wasn't until I started researching and then saying, oh, there's a bunch of different types of people that do this. And oh, there's a bunch of different ranges of content that they do. There's some people that are super full, like, oh, you need this type of gear, this type of military equipment, otherwise your stuff is garbage. So there's people that's literally just smacking watermelons with like the bases of their guns that are like just crazy stuff. But there's a wide range of ways of thinking. There's a wide range of people, wide range of information, and a wide scope that everything goes in. You know what I mean? So, and you wouldn't have known that unless you took the time to do research for yourself and to gain knowledge about the whole culture and why people like something, why people don't like something, why people think this way, why people think this is fun, and stuff like that. And to not come in there judgingly and be like, oh, well, let's see if all the things that I said were right, but just have an open mind and like, okay, well, let me see what this is about. Let me give it a chance. And even recently, I just completed my hunter's education course, which if you'd have asked me 5 years, 10 years ago, if I would have ever went hunting, I would have said, hell no, I don't want to, injure an animal. I don't want to, like, there's no need for that. As time grew on, I started, or especially moving up here, up north, where that stuff is more common, I started hearing from other people about their experiences and what they do and how they only will get like maybe a couple a year and they use it to feed their families and everything like that. And then especially doing the hunter's ed course and gaining that knowledge and research, I started seeing like, oh, they actually donate a lot of money, and a lot of the money and taxes from certain purchases go towards wildlife conservation and go towards limits. And that's why certain limits are there to help take out, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a whole mass of information and stuff that I wouldn't have known, and especially people that are against it have no clue about. But it also, like, the people that are saying, oh, this is bad because of this, and this, some of those things that they're saying why it's bad is actually what that goes to help. But you wouldn't have known that unless you'd done the research yourself. So that's what I mean. Like, and especially also, by the way, I'm Muslim. Wow. I converted to Islam. I don't even know how many years ago. I think maybe 8 years ago. Not too sure. I had, once again, as another thing, like I was not really believing too much in anything. I believe there was a God and all types of stuff. I don't want to get too into the religious stuff. But, I had family that's Christian or whatever. I went through a bunch of stuff. I was looking for religion. And also at the time, I had a heavy drug phase and partying phase. I was all over the place. Things started taking a turn for the worse. And, that just ended up being the thing that, guided me. And yeah. So, but even that, like way before, like when all the 9/11 stuff and everything happened, I would have never, like, what? Are you kidding me? And then I was one of the people that was there, like, saying all types of names and stuff like that. So like I admit I'm not proud of it, but that's what I mean. Like I had that way of thinking, and it wasn't until that I had met some people that were Muslim and started talking to them and having them as friends and started learning more and more to where I was like, okay, well, it's actually nothing like everyone says at all. Once again, I'm not trying to get this political or religious or whatever, but that's what I mean about it's a dramatic difference between perception and reality. And even though I keep kind of going off on this broad tangent about this whole thing, that's kind of what the point of this channel I want to be. A major difference between perception and reality. Because if you just go by perception, and especially what other people tell you, which other people that don't know shit about shit are going to tell you all types of things just to keep you away from something. It has to be up to you to actually do research, actually do unbiased research with an open mind, not trying to look for something to use as a weapon or something to say, aha, that's exactly what I thought. Just have an actual open mind and just take in the information, just learn about it, learn from the actual people, and you know what I mean? And even if you don't end up agreeing by the end of the day, that's okay. You can still have your side or your opinion because you're going to anyway, but at least you have information on what it actually is and what the whole thing is and why everything is like that, to where you can say, okay, so I understand and I get why you think like that. I get why you choose this. I get why this and that. I still have my stance, but at least I understand you now. And I mean, if the country thought like that, and if more people in the world thought like that, then it would be a way better place than it is. But yeah, see, stuff like that is why I want to start making more videos, just having kind of open discussions like this about random topics, whether it be kind of semi-heavier stuff like this or stuff like new video games coming out or just like random shit. Yeah, I think it's good to just inform people, get people together, to at least where we can come to an understanding regardless of final position or your final stance. At least if you got the information, the correct knowledge, the right information, and you're understanding and accepting, then that's the best you can do. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's kind of the main end-all be-all and the main goal, deep-seated in making this channel and everything is for. But mostly this specific channel and this specific content is just to inform and show that, hey, this can be fun without being a complete, dangerous threat to people. Just because you own a gun doesn't mean that you're waiting for something to happen or you're going to go make something happen, or that if anything does anger you or something, that you're a loose cannon waiting to pop. Like, no, it's just fun to go out to the range. It's like people that play baseball will go out to the batting cages and violently swing a bat at a robot that chucks a freaking ball like 90 miles an hour at them. I mean, that's because, one, that's what they do, and it's a sport, and it's something that they love, and it's fun. And if they do it safely, then it's safe, you know what I mean? And it's the same thing with guns. It's the same concept. There's some people that take it to where, like, extreme self-defense, doom prepping, some that are extreme, like either like ex-military, like combat training constantly, like self-defense, or military mindset. And there's some people that just use them for ridiculous things. There's some people making ridiculous videos of like shooting different stuff, kind of like Kentucky Ballistics and Demolition Ranch, semi-scientific, trying to see how much of something it takes to stop a bullet or something like that. And it's all fun, and it's good fun in games if you do things safely, if you have correct information about what's going on, if you understand yourself, if you understand your firearms, if you understand your capabilities and its capabilities, and you know how to be safe and you do things respectfully, then everything will be fine. Everything is okay, you know what I mean? There's always going to be people that take advantage of certain things. There's always going to be people that choose to do something or get something and do evil with it, or commit crimes or hurt somebody with it. And maybe that wasn't their intention at first, or maybe it was from the beginning, but at the same time, no one knows. And trying to crack down or take everything away, that only ends up hurting people, because there's people that literally live in situations and conditions where they fear for their life every day from these criminals that all these laws are meant to, erase supposedly or prevent from being. I mean, like I said earlier, like, this is a fully automatic weapon that they used in a drive-by in front of my house in California, where fully automatic guns haven't been legal here for decades. So I just believe people have a right to defend themselves. And if you can't get behind that, then, I mean, I feel like the main people that are against it are people that never had to go in that situation. You know what I mean? Like people that never had to deal with driving around and seeing police car chases and people driving into stuff, or having, like down the block, the place you used to go to eat, there was a shooting there and blah, blah, this happened, or someone got stabbed a bunch of times. People stabbed a bunch of people over here by the school or something like that. Or even walking home one day and having someone try to rob you or walk up to you trying to pull out a knife on you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that has to happen in order for you to, do whatever. I'm just saying that that's how a large amount of people live and have to deal with. And that's why a large amount of people, want self-defense, need to be able to protect themselves, because unfortunately they don't have the luxury to go outdoors to a gated community and go to a, Saks Fifth or whatever and come back and, have a perfectly fine day and, check their stocks and everything. Some people literally are struggling either to live financially, or they're struggling to live peacefully in an area that's full of crime, or people that are trying to do crime going in everywhere else and trying to threaten them. You know what I mean? Some people can't get away from that. And for the people that can't get away from that, defending themselves is the only option they have. And then you take that away, then everyone becomes criminals. And guess what? All the people that can't defend themselves are going to run up to the richer people and be like, hey, do something, help us. And it should never get to that point. So you got to defend yourself. You got to defend your family. Otherwise, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? About that, criminals are going to be criminals regardless. At the end of the day, evil is going to be evil. Evil is going to do evil because that's what they're trying to do. It doesn't matter if someone has a gun. It doesn't matter if someone has a knife or a baseball bat or their bare fists. If someone wants to do harm, if someone wants to hurt people, if someone wants to make a scene, if someone wants to hurt a lot of people, they're going to do it regardless. I mean, take a look at that, ISIS attack or whatever, where it's like a new ISIS affiliate. He didn't have a gun or access to guns, so he rented a truck and started driving into people. I believe it was at Times Square or something like that. He started driving into people with a truck. You know what I mean? Like, people that want to do evil and want to create chaos and want to hurt people, they're going to find a way to do it regardless. And yeah, guns might be more dangerous in the hands of evil because it's more damage that they can do faster. But also, what the media doesn't tell you, what nobody thinks about, is that you can stop those threats fast also by defending yourself with a firearm. If more people at least had something, just because you own a gun doesn't mean you're going to use it, and no one that owns a gun wants to use it defensively or something like that, because then that opens a whole another legal hole and everything, where you could even go to prison for saving your own life and your family's life. Even if someone else pulls a gun or a knife on you and you have to defend yourself, even though you don't want to, you can still go to prison for that. And it's insane. At least if evil is going to be out there no matter what. People are going to do bad no matter what. Even if you take guns away, guess what? They're going to get them from Mexico. They're going to get them from Cuba. They're going to get them from wherever they're going to go. They're going to become a soldier and take them from the base and use them. You know what I mean? Like, if evil wants to do evil, it's going to do evil. And we should be able to own guns, because when that happens, or if something's about to happen, we need to be able to protect ourselves and each other, because otherwise we're all just sitting ducks. And of course, there's people that are gonna say a billion ways to Sunday, no, because if this happens and this, and that's fine. That's what you believe, and I'm not gonna challenge or sit here and challenge you or get into a big debate, because you're gonna believe, at the end of the day, you're gonna believe what you only want to believe. And that's up to you. I'm just saying what it is, and I'm just putting it out there. That's like another thing. That's one of the big problems, or big things. A lot of people say religion is meant to divide people, or politics, and all that stuff is like just meant to divide people and all that stuff. But it's not the religion, it's not the politics or anything like that. It's just beliefs, period. If I believe one thing and you believe something else, and you say that what I believe in is wrong, and if I say that what you believe in is wrong, then that's immediately going to create conflict and going to make a big scene that's going to end up evolving eventually into problems, or into at least some level of anger and disagreements, whether it be handled calm and collectively, or if people just take it way out of proportion. It's always when you challenge what someone believes in where the teeth start showing. And sometimes you just gotta like, okay, people are not gonna believe in the same things you believe in. All you can do is inform them on what's actually going on. If they still don't believe it, then it's okay. You know, it's the same. It's like people that are think that guns should be completely wiped off the earth. Like, I understand, because I understand your side and where you're coming from. I just believe different because of my circumstances, what I've been through and what I see. That doesn't mean that you're a bad person because you don't believe what I believe, and that doesn't mean I'm a bad person because I don't believe what you believe. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm going way too deep in the woods with this, but that's just what I believe. And I mean, more people that end up thinking that way, more people that have an open mind, or even that end up in disagreements, be like, I see what you're doing, you know, I understand that, and just have it respectable. Don't try to take everyone's or force everyone into believing what you believe. Don't take everyone's rights away to where, oh, well, even if they had to where they don't even have the choice of defending themselves or not. You know what I mean? Like, just understand. I don't know. So that's a little taste. A little long fucking taste. What has it been? That's not bad. It's almost an hour of recording and talking about this, but yeah, so that's who I am. That's what I believe. It's why I started this channel. And hopefully if you guys like videos like this, and if you want to see more, then let me know. Maybe I'll do more videos like this on this channel. Like I said, I'm thinking about starting another channel, but we'll see how it goes. But if you like it, comment, tell me your thoughts on everything that I talked about. Tell me what you believe in, tell me what you would like to see, tell me, you know, if any situations happen to you, what made you come into the gun world, or if you're not in the gun world and maybe thinking about it or everything, like, comment what questions you have, what would you like to know, what would you like to see, you know. I want this kind of be open for discussion, and maybe we can take it from there in the comments. So please definitely leave a comment, subscribe to see more. Hopefully we'll all grow together, we'll all understand together, and we might, you know, take things up to another level, and hopefully we go far together. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to this long trope on, and hopefully I see you guys next time. So thanks for sticking around. Hope to see you guys next time, and peace out. Much love, brother. Much love, brother. Take it easy, bro.